Alrighty, y'all, we got a story time. We got an airline story time because I shared a video on some of my other socials, the needle and threads, the gram that is instante. And it's so funny because so many people were like, oh my gosh, how horrible. But a bunch of these dudes hopped in to be like, this is obviously not real. And it's so funny to me how they always want to deny their own behavior. That's how I know that's one of the dudes that would do it, because you ran into the comments and go, this is obviously fake, dude. So then you would do it. That's you. And the only reason I shared it was because I thought, it could have been staged until I saw the woman try to calm him down. And I was like, oh, that's real, because I've been through that. And I shared it because I went through a similar instance with a grown man kicking the seat of my daughter, who was like 5 at the time when we were going back and forth across. So anyway, if you want to see the video, it's on my other socials. But basically, the dude started something he couldn't finish. And when he got up to start something, the dude he was harassing was a good foot taller. So the agitator sat the fuck down real quick, like, nope, never mind. And it was just funny. It was funny, right? So I'm going to share my story for all the people who are looking at that going, no, this is obviously fake. We don't act like that. We're well behaved all the time. We sat through all of Joe Biden's presidency and never made a single peep and obeyed everything. Those people. So in my situation, darling, back in the day, remember, I'm an East Coaster, so I would fly back and forth with my children a lot. I would buy all my clothes on the East Coast and then wear them in California. Oh, God, I miss those days. Anyway, I had a plan. Whenever I traveled with my kids, they had everything: food, arts and crafts, that little Crayola Wonder stuff. So I would always get compliments on how well behaved they were. They wouldn't cry, they wouldn't make noise, they would be entertained the whole time. They had video players, all this. This is like 15, 20 years ago when it was still kind of new to have this sort of stuff for your kids. So anyway, we're on the plane, we're going across. There's one stop, okay? And behind me is a brother, sister, mother, son, girlfriend, I don't know, probably all of the above combined, really, looking like those Afrikaners, the most well-fed people you've ever seen. And this dude is complaining the whole loudly cursing, when the F are we going to get there? Why is this effing taking so long? And calling the attendant going, why is this plane taking so long? And I'm like, dude, we're going across the country. Like, how... Did you want to walk? Did you want to take a car? Do you want to take a train? Like, how? There's no faster way to get there. This is the fastest way. So after an hour of him kicking my daughter's seat, like I said, he's kicking the seat and he's cursing, right? I turn around. I said, is this your first time? It was nice the first time. I'm like, is this your first time flying? Well, oh, yeah, he's just nervous. His sister, mother, girlfriend, whatever. And I'm like, well, this is really nothing. It's just a couple hours. Are you guys getting off at the stop? You're getting off at the stop? Okay, cool. It's nothing. Look, it's my kids. They're dealing with it too, blah, blah, blah. This is nothing. If you flow internationally, it's 15, 24 hours, depending on where you're going, 20 hours, whatever, you know what I mean? So I was trying to calm them down and be polite and ask them to stop kicking my daughter's chair. Grown man, kicking a toddler's chair. And she's still not crying or anything, by the way. All right. Just being really annoyed as a child. Okay. So he continues kicking and yelling. And after another hour of it, I turn around and I yelled. I said, shut the F up. And the people did applaud. I won't say standing ovation, but in the vicinity, the people within earshot who was listening to him curse about how long this was taking did clap. Because he was annoying. He was very loud. And then the attendant came back and she's like, I'm going to move you. And they're like, what do you mean move us? Move her. She started it. She cursed at us. Her kids haven't been perfect. I'm like, actually, and even the attendant, when her kids have been fine, I've been getting complaints about you. And even I had told them, I'm like, they're children. So even if they weren't fine, they're toddlers. You are sitting with a grown-ass man and your answer is that I have kids and that's just as bad as a grown man kicking their chair. Like, what is wrong with you people? The entitlement. So they refused to move. The attendant was like, we've gotten complaints about you this whole flight. We will move you if you want to move, if you can't behave yourself. No, we'll be quiet. So they stopped kicking the chair and they stopped loudly cursing about how long it was taking, but they went back to loss. This is what's happened with the loss of white power in America. So then they were just grumbling behind me loudly enough for me to hear how upset they were that they were asked to move instead of me. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. And white's only America. This is almost 20 years ago, y'all. Okay. So they've been floating around for a while. This is why I told y'all to rein in your people. But the best part was for the rest of the flight, when people would walk by my seat, they would make a point to stop and say, oh my gosh, your children are so well behaved. You're flying with children? They were so quiet. I didn't even know. Oh my gosh, I've never flown with children so well behaved. And every time they would look at the couple behind me, they'd be like, oh, your children are so quiet. They're so well behaved. Which eventually they even had to shut up with the loss of white power talk because they were just getting humbled by everyone walking by. And there was even one dude who was like, "Is he being racist towards you?" And I just like started laughing. But yeah, don't y'all hop in there and talk about, we never act like that. Okay, say that to each other. We remember how certain y'all act. Okay, you know the y'alls I'm talking to. Okay, so all right. All right, I need to go make breakfast.